Hi, everybody. Once again, I think I'm on, but it's Facebook keeps changing things, so it's difficult to know exactly what's going on. Bear with me just for a second here. Um, Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Yeah, Michael Fisk. Today is August 27th, Friday. Facebook Live will give a couple of seconds as people, get on. If a few of you, if you don't mind, just letting me know if you can hear me okay, see me okay. Um, the format is always a little bit different. It seems like each time, so just want to make sure everything's going well. While people are jumping on, I will, again, safety message. Of course, don't watch this while you're driving. It will be recorded and left on Facebook and our YouTube channel. For those of you who are, jumping on, please, feel free to send any questions, comments, that kind of stuff. And looks like we got about three people on now, so we'll give it just another, 30 seconds here while people get logged on. Okay, well, we'll get started here. Don't have a big crowd, today. But wanted to just again thank everybody, for the work do. I mean, it's unbelievable that it's end of August, already. COVID is still, a thing. It's a thing once again, or whatever. You want to describe it, as there's a lot going on around that. We have, drivers and an office, staff that they've been sick. Listen, it's very personal, and a lot of conversations around vaccinations and what's going on, with all of that. As a company, each of us, we may have our own personal, thoughts and opinions, on that. But as a company, sometimes we have to, have a position, that is outside of our own individual, type of thing. And I know many of you and me, we're getting tired of COVID, but it is what it is, and we'll keep chopping that wood, as we go through it. Daniel Ginger Norred, hi, good afternoon, to you. You guys must be on the not in Arizona, be in the east, somewhere. Um, the um, just let me just jump in on my list of things here real quickly here. Just as a reminder, and as professionals, each of you should know this already, but smoking under a hazmat load, either in the cab of the truck or in the proximity, is not permitted. We had a former driver of ours that that had to leave for personal reasons, but still a good friend of ours reach out to us, because he understands, the standards that that we have, and each of you have to work under. And he said, hey, I was at a Clean Harbor facility, and I saw, a former or a tri-state, co-worker, smoking a cigarette, in the cab of the truck, so. Guys, and gals, we need to be conscious of that. And, when you're under a placarded hazmat, load, smoking's not allowed, on that. So, um, Daniel Ginger, guys in Kentucky, okay. East Central Time Zone, Eastern Time Zone. Hi, Linda. Alex LeBlanc, do you do retraining? We're not a training company. When you say retraining, contact one of our recruiters, and we'll go through what your experience is. I mean, it's there's Donnie Lester, our VP of Safety, has a lot of respect and will work with drivers that have a lot of experience but haven't but no recent experience type of thing. It all just kind of depends on what your situation is. There, what we do and what we pull has our customers have a lot of expectations for us, and obviously the DOT and the DOD and so forth. So again, we're not a training company, but depends on how much experience you have and then how long you've been off the truck. Just get with one of our recruiters and we can take you through that process. There. So okay, the next thing we'll talk about is truck driver appreciation, is coming up. The month of September is generally recognized as truck driver appreciation. We've got some, plans that Riley in particular, is working on. So stay tuned. We'll have more news on that. It's hard to know what it is that 700, plus drivers want and is worthy of the appreciation that we do have for each of you. So if you have ideas and stuff that's scalable and like I said is possible with 700 drivers, let us know. Okay, I mean it's we try to do something that each of you will have some use or value, and let what our gratitude is for you. But we can always use ideas as well. Speaking of that, I want to share with you 2 weeks ago. And we gathered in Phoenix. Tim and Robin Roberts and John and Janine Hunter, two teams, with us, as well as John Wilbur and Russ, to shoot some new commercials and marketing stuff. And that was really the first real opportunity, that John, in particular, and Russ have had to engage, with face to face, with many of you. I mean, they've been on phone conversations and a couple of conference calls, but that's really the first opportunity for face to face engagements. We're going to be sharing a lot of the content of that of those commercials with you. Obviously, you get a chance to see the finished products. We'll be posting it on here and YouTube, but also some various other, media distribution, outlets, that we're looking at. But but I'm also going to share, raw footage, and at the end of it, we kind of had a little roundtable session. No agenda, no particular questions, just great, dialogue. And it's many of us are Phoenix and Joplin or in and out of the office, type of thing. So we're still able to see many of you. But I can tell you, on behalf of John and Russ, there's some real emotion there. Being able to, we had dinner, with Tim and Janine and John and Robin and that was incredible. I mean, it's as an open invitation, if if you see me, somewhere, and it's possible, let me buy you lunch, let me buy you dinner, type of thing. I mean, it's we've got to stay engaged, and that's one of the things that's been lost, in the last year and a half, 2 years, as we go through this. But we have to figure out how to stay, and keep engaged, and that was really brought to the forefront. I mean, it was a pretty, emotional, few hours at times, So anyway, I just kind of want to share that with you, and also, be on the lookout, for that, content and material, coming out. Yeah, Linda, hi. Oh, hold on a second. I got a call coming in. To here, let me cat have Rebecca Anderson. I have a complete something. Why aren't the directions, old info's made correct? We ran into the situation at all the time, and therefore it's very confusing. The load becomes very confusing. All of the info are years old. Let me, Rebecca, I'm tell you. I mean, we've spent time, on that project, getting things updated. I apologize. This is all live here, so it's not very well smooth and scripted. Um, you know, we've gotten a bunch of it updated, not all of it updated. In response to that, though, we're looking at some tools. And again, I don't know how many of you guys are on Roadmaster RMG Connect, the driver app. Listen, it's there's so much, tools and apps and use this and use the Qualcomm and use email and this. I get it, and the goal is, to give you tools that are useful and functional, and I would tell you, I'm going to kind of go on a little rant here. Some of the reasons why we dump so much technology on drivers, to be honest with you, it's kind of a CYA for those inside the office. Well, I gave them the tools, I told them to use this, and then they feel like they can wash their hands of it, type of thing. Um, Gannon and Felicia and Frank, in the IT department, and anybody who touches, RMG Connect are very conscious of, let's get tools, that are useful, and that the drivers want and is going to, be valuable to them. And one of the things that we're looking at in that, Rebecca, in specific response to your question is, of course, we're going to continue to have, the dispatch, directions and instructions, and so forth. But one of the tools we're looking at, and it's really early in the process, is a way for driver to driver, peer to peer, can share information and directions and contact info, based on where you're going, that can be shared, through, the app. So not again, Rebecca, most of the information that we supply to you is given to us directly from, the customer. And we update as we can, but we also know that sometimes the customers, they just copy paste whatever they've been sending out for 5, 10 years. There is a way and a tool that we're looking at where, if you're going to, customer ABC in Tooele, Utah, type of thing. As you go there, you'll be able to see peer-to-peer driver, other tri-state drivers' comments of, hey, you want to avoid this road, take this road. Go into this gatehouse. It's best if you have this information or whatever. So Rebecca, we're working on it. Is the best I can tell you. And I know that some of these answers, that's what we've been telling you for a couple of years. We're working on it. We're better today than we were yesterday. We're going to be better tomorrow than we are today. But again, some of these tools, we got to vet. We need to test them, and use them and break them. And then a lot of times we find we can't distribute this fleet wide, type of thing. But I understand what you're asking. There are ways, to improve on that we'll continue to do, and we're getting there. So. Anyway, I hope that answers your question for now. But again, we're aware of it, and we've got opportunities to improve on that as well. Danish Ginger Norred, he'll cook for everyone. It's yeah, I mean, inflation's here. I mean, it's I know restaurant and groceries more expensive. Inflation is here for better for worse. There, and hopefully it doesn't get much worse than that. Develine, drivers can update or add info at the bottom of macros and comment section. Yes, you're right, and I think the response to Rebecca would say, well, why isn't that that information forwarded or updated there? And here's the problem: is sometimes the information that's sent to us is not still not correct. It still needs to be vetted. And again, there are times that we just have breakdowns, on our side where it doesn't get communicated properly or vetted, properly, as well. Especially right now. I mean, I know all of you guys are as busy as you've ever been with us, right? I mean, our miles are up and load count is up and I mean, it's that creates a lot of work, for you, as the drivers, but also a lot of work in the office. And so it's we need to do better, and we do continue to do better, on that as well. Okay. Linda Cantu, is there any negotiations going on with hazardous waste loads, pricing going up anytime soon? Also, fuel surcharges. Linda, those are going on constantly. I mean, it's rates have gone up. So owner operators their percentage is worth more. We've implemented a couple of company driver increases recently that are funded by the customer rate increases. Fuel surcharges. That's a better question for Frank. I don't really have a pulse on that. But there tends to be a lag. I know. I mean, it's a few weeks, behind the market, both ways, right? I mean, it doesn't drop as quickly as the market often drops as well, type of thing. But yes, rates are going up everywhere, and not just has waste, for sure. So. Rebecca, I'm not certain what you're asking. If you come across a picture and turn it in, I'm not sure what you're asking there. I apologize. Chase, hi Mike. Are we sticking with the same model trucks that we currently have, or are we looking at trying some different models? Again, that's a frank question. It's a good question. It's something that we look at, constantly. I mean, it's we have a lot of drivers that ask, that love the Volvos, okay? And so right now, we have three different, brands and models that we use between KW, Volvo, Freightliners. There's challenges with each of them, and there's pluses with each of them. I mean, it's we've got drivers that swear by KWs, and wouldn't be caught dead in anything else. I know Freightliners used to have a terrible reputation, but they make a really good product that lasts 3-4 years, in particular. Size-wise, the Freightliners tend to be, somewhere between the Volvos, and the KWs and berth size, so forth. But, engine technologies, I mean, it's if you ever want to geek out on truck technology and everything, give Frank a call sometime. I mean, Frank loves this. Frank loves talking trucks and keeps up on technologies, and everything. Chase, there's a lot of other things, just kind of, expose the iceberg a little bit. We look at, getting more certain trucks. Their delivery times are, used to be 3-4 months. Now they're 8 months, 12 months, 16 months out. So that is affecting some of the decisions that we have right now. We've had a ship loads of trucks that we've gotten 10, 20, 30 at a time before, and they sat in our yard for 2 months because they're missing a part or something like that. So it's our challenge and our goal is to make sure that the end result, that each driver uses as their tool, i.e. the truck, is a finished product, right? I mean, it's we should, as much as possible, we work out all the the issues with it and make sure everything is running properly. But to get that truck to that point is not always a real simple ABC process, so there's often a lot of things that are involved into why we have the trucks. And I get calls all the time for drivers. I mean, you idiots, why did you buy this truck? And sometimes, the answer is simply that's the only one that's available, for the next 6 months. Other times, the answer is, has to do with pricing or new technologies, that's being tested or whatever, there. So for right now, Chase, I mean, it's, we are still KW, Volvo. and the Freightliners, but the models within those three brands will change, at various times as well. So, Rebecca, again, I'm still not certain what question you're asking as far as info. So send me an email, send JD or your driver manager an email, and we'll get that resolved for you. Okay. Jack, hi from Des Moines. Hi, Jack. So, again, great. I love when we have questions and comments. So send them in. Screenshot. Yeah, Rebecca, send it in to me or send it into Vonda or Sarah Hogan, over our CSR, department. I mean, it's Sarah is super engaged, with our drivers and or the customers. So, but yeah, send it to me and I'll forward it to Sarah and or Vonda. Or feel free to send it directly to Vonda or Sarah Hogan. Sarah.hogan@roadmastergroup.com. So, okay, let me see what else. Does anybody, I don't know if this is going to be the safest thing to talk about, but does anybody want to talk about the FDA approval and vaccinations, at all? I'll give you guys a second to process that. I'll just say, as a company, it's again, our individual opinions are often put aside, for the good of the company. Okay, I mean it's and that's how we make decisions as we need to for the good of the company. There. And so just know that, okay? I mean, it's we have tremendous respect, for individual rights, and we'll always fight for that, okay? We have tremendous, faith, in our drivers and your ability to manage your own. Hey, listen, I mean, what I find really interesting is that a year ago, a year plus ago, you guys were the front line. You guys were the the essential workers. I mean, I have two brothers that are nurses, that are essential, and now they're being told that I need to be careful, where I go with this. Now they're being told that if they don't toe the line, they're not quite as essential as they were, and I think that's a difficult message, to there. So anyway, just know that it's our customers, are going to have tremendous influence, and each of you, as individuals and drivers have tremendous influence. It's the health and safety, of all of us as co-workers is paramount, and we make the best decisions, we can, around that. We don't always make the right decisions. We acknowledge that, but where human error is allowed, I think we make a lot more good decisions than bad, and I know you guys have let us know, when we do mess up. So anyway, we appreciate all of you, it doesn't look like we have anything else that you guys are interested in talking about, but anytime, again, email me, before, and happy to discuss it, on this forum here, as appropriate. You're going to be hearing more from Andy Bradford. Many of you know him, either you've gone through his orientation or his recertifications. He is going to be working more and more with Donnie Lester, the safety department. So I think he's scheduled to meet with you guys in 2 weeks. And I think safety messaging can be hard. It can be boring. It can be it's there, but nonetheless it's important. But I think Andy's got some ideas that'll make it easier to engage and to, and stuff that'd be interesting, and including sharing, scenarios that we're faced with, that kind of stuff. So again, the big thing we're trying to do is just be more transparent to each of you, so you understand, kind of like the truck decision. Why do we choose the trucks that we have, type of thing, and a lot of it is real complex and messy, and if it seems simple, by the time you're involved, good, because that's the way it should be, type of thing. But as much as the sausage making that you're interested in learning about, happy to share it with you. So anyway. Um, Okay, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend, and appreciate the work you do. We know a lot of you are tired, there's a lot in the office that are tired too. We've been running really hard, all summer, last year and a half, in particular. If you know good drivers, please send them our way. I mean, it's, we've got, our customers are asking us to do more and more, and we just need more good drivers, and we appreciate, all of you and the work, that you currently do. So anyway, thanks much, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.